My name is Anthony
I'm Gabby.
with an awesome coffee cup. And
I got a
yes,
story.
and you got a cool, like,
One of our viewers sent this to me.
are you serious?
Yes, it's a student that I've worked with in the past, and Kent Corley. He sent this to me late last week because he was like, "You needed
That
another
is so
awesome mug."
cool. What
Yeah.
what's the deal, man? I didn't get one. What? Good Lord.
I'm sorry.
Jeez.
We'll,
All right, I
we
see
will take
how it
care of
is.
that. We will
Well, it
rectify
is
that situation.
good to be with you all on
Yeah.
Monday. If you are new or returning and you haven't done so, please hit that like and subscribe button. Make sure also that you hit that bell notification and hit all so
Hmm.
that notification pops up in your channel that we're going live. We're posting a video. Yeah,
Yeah.
super duper important.
Hmm.
Today, we are talking about you got your demo. Now what? That's right. And of course, we have our chat channel. So please
Yeah.
make sure you say hello, tell us where you're from, and also please ask questions. We love questions. We take
Hmm.
questions. We talk about all that kind of stuff. And yeah, so very excited about that. Also, we have some amazing things in just about a week, about 12 days.
Mm.
12 days coming up. Pay really attention with VO Journey Academy. Something that will, I think, blow everybody's socks off. You want to be a part of it, and it's going to be incredible. I mean, just so amazing. Yeah. So
You want to say so bad.
we'll
You do.
have
You
more.
want to
We'll have
say.
a really. We need to do a whole episode, I think,
Yeah,
on it and talk about all the
for
exciting
sure.
things. So it's going to be really big deal. So
Hmm.
and more importantly, give so many people more access to VO Journey Academy. So I'm very excited about that.
Yeah, it's gonna be
So,
cool.
um, well, today we're talking about, like we said,
Yeah.
got a demo. Now
Now
what?
what?
Well, Gabby, I got my demo. I just got a brand new demo. Now what do I do?
So many things. So many things. And I think the first thing that we have to say is you don't want to wait till you have the demo in hand to be asking this conversation. This is we're trying to get ahead of that,
That's a
right?
very good point. Which, on a side note, makes a good argument to not. You don't need to wait to join, like
Hmm.
VO Journey Academy or anywhere. Some to learn, right? Before after you have this,
Yeah,
like you need to have a plan. You need to know what you're doing before you get it. I
for
completely
sure.
agree.
So let's see. I think the first thing, right,
Mm-hmm.
of course, is we want to get it out there.
Mm,
We want to share it. And sharing it well is about
mm,
having a plan and having that plan set up long before the demo is complete. Having a plan for social media, having a plan for friends and family, having a plan for your existing clients, having a plan with regards to any warm leads that you have. Really making sure that you're using all the channels at your disposal to get the demo into the hands of people who can not only use you, but who can forward it on to other people who might be able to use you.
oh, absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I mean, I think the point of just the point of it, right, is
Hmm.
to share so people can know what you can do.
Yeah.
All right. And I think that, so with that being said, let's talk where some, so you have this, you're like, okay, great. I'm ready to share it. What do where are places,
Mm.
where are the basic places that we can share our demo? All right. So I think first, I'll just first, we've kind of been talking about a lot of these. Now that you have a demo, right? One of the first things, there are all of the places and the locations we've chatted about. Platforms,
Yep.
right? Platforms are a place. Um, Sending, we love YouTube. Having them up on YouTube, sharing them on your
Hmm.
YouTube channel, and then being able to share a link to that to agencies, producers, things like this, right? Sharing with them, emailing them. What are some other places, Gabby, that we can
Well,
share
I
them?
think, YouTube is always such a great one. And I'm even guilty of sometimes sort of forgetting about it as a vehicle for my demos.
Hmm.
Something to keep in mind too is that you don't necessarily need video or need like something really flashy to go with the demo for video. It's nice if you have it, but it's not totally necessary. Even just a static, right, card that's got like your name and your um, email and website address, phone number, that sort of thing is something, and it's important.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I am a really big fan of saying, when you've got a brand new demo in hand, get it out to friends and family, get it out to non voiceover people,
Yes.
because you never know. You never know who could use you, who can again pass it off to somebody else. But along with that, really kind of give them instructions of like, hey, can you get this to your marketing manager, or can you get this over to somebody in, who handles project management at your company? Can you send it to your boss? That sort of thing, to really help give it some legs. Because otherwise, what you just end up with is people going, oh, wow, this is really cool. You sound great.
No, I totally
But
agree.
then what?
I think okay, so we have and this is just because and you and I think so much alike, and I my mind goes immediately to, all right, this is a business.
Mhm.
So, with our demo, now that we have a demo, okay, we have a product, if you will, a like a sample product. Okay, we have a sample product. We
Yeah.
actually have a demo, like, and that's called a demo, right? We have a demo to show. Okay, like you got a brand new vacuum cleaner. Now we can
Mhm.
go around and show it. Okay,
No,
and
not
but
the vacuum cleaner
the
salesperson.
vacuum cleaner salesman. Sometimes it feels like it.
Yeah.
But the point is that you have a prototype, right? We have something here that we can take around. So there's a business around this. So I
Yeah.
was just thinking, if for example, one of you go and you share this with someone, and they're like, "Great, we've got this little project here. We'd love for you to do the voiceover for it." Well, then you're like, "Oh, well, okay, great. What do I do? So assuming that, of course, since you've done your demo, you're at
Mhm.
home, right? You have your studio and everything set up correctly, right? But what else do we need? Well, we also need some way to accept payments, right? We need
Yeah.
some sort of checkout process, some sort of management software that we can use to accept purchases,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
um and I think starting to think of it from a business perspective. Okay, so now I have this. I like to put classify things like into departments. like we, even though it's us,
Yeah.
we're
I
running it by
mean,
ourselves. But if
it's
you think
smart
about it,
though.
right, you think about a business, we have like there's specific departments within your business. All
Absolutely.
right. And of course, we were talking about sharing it kind of falls under your marketing department,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Your sales department. um then we have your production department. Okay, like this is the department, right, that you handle, that's going to deal with you actually producing the voiceover,
Right.
creating it, all right, doing all the work you need to do about it. Then there is the finance department, all
Yep.
right, the department that deals with the money, collecting
Payables and
money,
receivables.
taxes,
Yep.
your books, right,
Mhm.
keeping track of what's coming in and what's going out,
Yeah.
reporting. Okay, so you have that, and then of course you could have HR. Don't fire yourself. You might have to fire yourself. You did such a bad job. I had to fire myself.
You suck.
Exactly. So, but the idea here is, right, is that you're starting to think, even if like it's yes, it's just us running it, but we need to think that now that you have a demo, so you have the ability to actually sell your services and get out there.
Yep.
Now we have to look at this. I think it. Would you agree? I don't know if you think about you. What are your thoughts on it? And I know I don't want to get too far ahead because we can go down the rabbit hole with it.
Oh, sure.
But we got to kind of start to think now that we
Mm.
have a business. We have to start to mold and to create the beginnings of this business, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And I think absolutely. I mean, I would hope that a lot of that stuff has been set up prior.
Mm.
But
Mm.
if it hasn't, yes,
Mm.
definitely. Because the last thing you want is to then have people requesting you, asking for things, and you're not ready, right? If you don't have these basics in place, you don't look nearly as professional. And then that really amazing demo, mm, it kind of it's the shininess wears off for the other
Mhm.
person really quickly if they think that the rest of your business is not operating in anything that resembles right a
Oh yeah.
structured, yeah,
Oh
well
yeah.
run business. So
Oh,
yes.
absolutely. Oh yeah.
um I also think it's a mental thing when you have a new demo to remember that it's always new to someone.
Mm.
It's new to us for a short period of time, but to the people that you're interacting with, it's new. If they've never heard it before, it's a new opportunity. It's a new way to interact. So keep that in mind because we can usually get away with promoting the newness of something for a lot longer than you'd think, right? You can get like a good 6 months out of new as a
Oh,
as a
that's
as a marketing piece.
oh, that's a great point.
Yeah.
And and that goes back to the fact that, like what you just said, and also too, I mean, people don't see you're gonna, people just it's because you're not gonna get yeah, you got to get it in front of
Mm,
people while for them to even to have
yeah.
the capacity with how much we're bombarded with stuff every day to see and listen to your stuff. But yeah,
Oh,
no,
yeah.
absolutely.
Mm,
Um okay, so we have all right, so we've got our demo. We're starting to share it. And let's say that, we are starting to get some traction,
mhm.
right? Let's say we have our commercial demo.
Right.
And then someone contacts us and says, "Oh my goodness, I loved your commercial demo, but you know what? I'm doing e-learning. Do you have
Oh,
anything
no.
for e-learning that I could listen to?"
Is that not the worst? That is the worst. I feel
That
like
happens
just
all the
like,
time.
"Damn it." Yeah, it's so frustrating. Oh my god. Yipes. Okay, so what do you do in those cases?
So okay, so well, this is twofold, right? For probably for both you and I. I think for a voice actor that's been around for a while,
Mm,
right? You're going to have all of these things. I'm going to have a couple of
yeah.
different e-learning demos. I have videos. I have a variety of a portfolio of e-learning things with
Mhm.
other things, which is why I kind of brought it up. But so the first part though is when you first do it, let's say someone does ask you and you don't have it. Okay, so you're like, "Hi, I've just put this fancy demo together and I spent all this money and now they want something else. All right, this is redonkulous." So
True.
Um, what I highly recommend as first thing is that at any given time, remember, if someone's specifically asking you for something,
Mhm.
9 times out of 10, they're not expecting bells and whistles for you to send over. They probably would like a general read
Yeah.
of something, right? That's sure it doesn't sound horrible,
Yeah.
all right, but it could even be raw. I mean, and but you can create something and send that over to them pretty quickly, um, so that they have something as a sample. I like to call it, kind of like
Agreed. We tend to overthink. We tend
hmm
to overthink and we get too far into our heads with the perfection model, right? Like,
hmm
like I love when, people are like, "Oh, but I haven't, I haven't taken any coaching for e-learning it." Relax. Relax, right? Like
right.
apply the skills you already have. And I totally agree with you. Sample. Something I like to do when I encounter that situation is first of all, I BS them. I go, funny you should ask. That demo is in production right now. So I don't have it yet.
Oh, I love it.
But if you'd like to send me some copy, I'd be happy to
hmm
do a custom recording for you. And so that usually gets their attention. And not only are you effectively getting an audition, right? You're also getting to further the interaction with that
Mm.
client. And I don't know about you, Anthony, but I find that in many instances, booking the audition is as simple as the client feeling the project is more tangible, right? Like they hear their name, they experience the thing, and then they're like, oh, that's so great. That's what we want, you
Oh,
know?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I actually I really love that. And here something and it just sparked to my mind something that I realize, is those questions. Don't forget a lot of people you deal with might not know the process, the right process.
Yeah.
What is the process? Is
Yeah.
there a process? How do we, what to do next?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I find exactly what you just said a really good point to make to people is if they come to you and they're asking for something, first off, that's exciting. So I'm always like, hey, this is exciting.
Right.
This would be really, it sounds like a great opportunity. Please, if you send me over some copy, I'd love because a lot of times they'll ask you for just like what we said. Do you have or what I get a lot now is I get sent a video. Hey, we're doing a project. It's kind of like this. Do you have anything like this? Do you do anything like this? I was like, well, that's a really broad, like,
Right.
sure, I just
Right.
happen to be waiting for you and it's right here on standby. You know what I mean? So, so what I typically do is be like, hey, you know what I mean? Thank you so much. This looks great. Sure, send me over some copy. You know what I mean? I'll get a recording, like a scratch recording done. I'll
Mhm.
send it right over to you. That'll be great. And then after that, we can move forward. Don't be afraid to, because you know the next step for yourself. Take charge a little bit. Be kind, excited. But I think what you said, it actually is true, Gabby, because they want to know that they're dealing with someone who has at least some confidence or understanding of what's come next. So then they feel, oh, this person probably be really great to work with. They know what's going on. You know what I mean? We're gonna, and
Yeah.
they know the next step. Because a lot of times, if they don't know, if they haven't sent if they didn't send you copy and asked
Mhm.
you to read it, they just
Mhm.
sent you something like I get a lot. Clearly, in my mind, I'm like, okay,
I was just
they
gonna
don't really know
say,
exactly yet.
I get those all the time. I had one
Yeah.
this morning waiting and it was in my spam. I had to pull it out. It's a good
Hmm.
thing I checked. It was
Check
literally
your spam.
yes,
Ooh,
it
that's
was
a really good point. On a
random
side note.
email from somebody I don't know, and they were just like, "Hey, Gabby, I went to your website. I heard your material. Would you be available for a project?" And I'm like, "Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to know more. Send me some details. Let's talk."
Mhm.
They just don't know, and
Yes.
so you have to kind of help them along a little.
Mhm.
Something else that I think is really important, and I don't know about you, Anthony, and I think we it's funny, we've kind of veered away from the topic a little, but we're still in the right lane. Um, the same way in improv we apply yes and.
Mm.
What I was always taught is that in sales or in a lot of business dealings, you never say no,
Mm.
right? You always find a way to offer an alternative or to offer a choice,
Oh my
but
goodness.
never no, right? Because no just like shuts down.
So okay.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so has anybody ever watched the Hotel Impossible show?
Oh, I love, yeah, I've seen it.
So,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
anyways, the little bald head dude. All right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Anyways,
The
Anthony
other
something.
Gordon
I was gonna
Ramsay.
say that,
Yeah.
but anyways, I bring it up because there's this episode where they went to this hotel and it was on the beach, and he goes out to check the pool, right? And there was all these signs. Like first, so he first sees these signs that says, no, no walking without sandals, no drinks, no bags of ice, no, none of this, no, there's all
No
sign, right? So he
fun.
goes, then he
No
goes
day.
into the elevator, right? Well, then he goes to the ice machine and it says no kids allowed, no this, no that. We don't. Then he goes in the elevator. You're not allowed to do this, no that, right? Like everywhere it went, it was just like, and I see this with a lot of voice actors. I don't do this, I won't do that, I
Ay,
don't do
ay,
this, I don't do,
ay.
and that's not to say that we are to do those things. It's just to say kind of what Gabby said is it's our job to make it seem like we actually, because I always say to people, you're making it seem like you don't even want to do voice.
Exactly. Like,
Like
what a bizarre way to approach your business, right? Like,
right,
to
right.
start shutting down people's options before it even begins.
Right.
Um,
But it made you feel like
that's a
you don't really want us you don't want me here,
right.
you
You
don't
don't
want
want
to
us here.
you
Yeah,
don't want us here at all, right?
that's a good
And
point.
mhm.
That's a
Yeah.
really, really good point. And you're right. It's a great example of it. So, what I was always taught is even if it's something you don't do, even if it's something that, you figure out an alternative approach, right? Like for talent that, maybe it's like what I'm dealing with right now. Like it's a big e-learning project and the clients are like, do you do editing? Do you supply,
Mm,
final files? Maybe you don't. Well, instead of just saying no, the you could say, I do, but it's at a slightly higher rate. Or you could say, I don't, but I work with a producer who does, right? And you give them an option, you find a solution. You're constantly proactive about finding the solution.
I
Yeah.
I think the reason why I've done so much now engineering is because early on I had no idea what I was doing, and I remember there's one time I did a whole series cartoon. It was on YouTube, but it was a cartoon series, and they came to me. They wanted me to do two different voices. There was about 15 voices in the whole thing, but they also said, "Hey, do you happen to also mix and put them all together and match it with the video and add sound effects?" I was like, "Okay." I know. So I literally ended. So I ended up. I'd get all the files from everybody. Get
Hmm.
all. I did the music, the effects, and then you put them all together. And I remember doing this, thinking this is not what I. But I learned so
Let
much,
me tell you,
and it's now made the ability for me to honestly be able to do anything that I
early
need to do.
on, there were a handful of jobs I lost money on. And I
Mm.
lost money because I was ill prepared for whatever I said yes to, right? And then I had to hire somebody
Mm,
else to finish it or to help with it. But I may have lost money on the initial, but I gained the client. And
mm,
then long term, it worked out.
absolutely.
So those are the things you have to, think about. I'm laughing as well with everybody else about Alex's comment. It's
Oh
hilarious.
yeah, I love that. The
Um,
horse one is great.
that I learned from
And I love
interviewing
how
with
you said, "I'll meet
several.
my first horse
Yeah,
tomorrow."
I learned from interviewing with several Hollywood actors, always say yes. Do you saying yes? Voice lessons
You should
start
say
today.
say say Alex said, "I'm heading to the barn tomorrow." That'd be better.
Yeah,
Heading to the barn tomorrow.
for sure. I
I
mean,
love it.
and there is something to that, right? We
Mhm.
never shut it down. It's
Mhm.
always, I mean, imagine, it's not any different than like when you go to a restaurant, like what waiter says no?
I know,
No, that's
right?
not a thing. Nobody's no, you can't do that. No, you can't have that. That's not how this works. That's not the definition of service. Yeah.
Absolutely. And it's our job, I think as we're talking about, it's our job, as you said, Gabby, to even if it is something that is totally outside the realm of what we're
Mhm.
doing, right? It is, you have to decide, and this is actually a really good, I guess, point to that we talked about. What do we do with our demo now? Well, we have our demo.
Yeah.
Part of this is deciding how you're going to approach these situations, right? Because I work with voice actors. I say, listen, now that we're having communication, you're getting requests, people, you're sending out stuff.
Yeah.
It is a good idea to have an idea in your mind, right, or even on paper, how you're going to approach those situations. What is
Mhm.
your first step? What is your second step? So that's actually
Mhm.
a really good thing to look at now that you have your demo,
Yeah.
right? What is the first step? What's the second step? What's the third step?
Yep.
Which again, I'm a big advocate for education.
Mhm.
Education really helps you because you're not going to know necessarily what is the first, second, or third step
Right.
that typically if you've never been shown it or done it,
It's true.
right? But have some sort of idea of what's going to be next, you know what I mean, or how to go it or where to find it. I mean, that's the one thing I learned, as I went up the chain in education, as you get more and more, you learn everything you don't know. and then the only thing is you just learn where to find the info. Like like the whole point is where to find it.
So really, we could rename today's topic as "Have Demo, Now What? Figure out how to answer every question you never thought was going to happen." Yeah,
That's right. That's
yeah.
right. Oh, all
Um,
right. So
Sarah,
real quick, we've got
yeah. Sarah just said,
we
"I'm
got
working on my demo currently, trying to think ahead. I'm glad we talked about this because I didn't even think of how someone can pay me, and that seems important."
I know, right? I
Oh,
mean, it's the little
Sarah.
you're like, wait, crap! I gotta
Oh,
take the
that is
payment.
hysterical. Well, I
Send me
tell
a
you what,
check.
tomorrow, why don't we talk about getting paid? What? Yeah.
I think
Okay.
that's a great
All
thing.
right. Let's do
I
it.
love it. Well, everybody, thank you so much for being with us today. We really had a blast. Have a great Monday. We will see you tomorrow, everybody. Thank you.
Bye.
Goodbye, 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 goodbye.